Yo, it's your boy Kevin, man. It's been a while since I made a video. I've been on a cruise last week. You know what I mean? Just been kind of busy with life and stuff like that. But just get straight to it. The season is over. The last game of the year was against the Carolina Panthers. We lost 7-10, I believe, at home. From what looked like it was a positive turnaround at the end of the season to build off of, we ended the season in a very, very poor, disappointing fashion. Hey, what can you say with this staff? But nonetheless, we're retaining Pete Carmichael and Dennis Allen, which is it's just a no-win in my opinion. But the whole reason I was banking on not wanting to, but okay with keeping Dennis Allen was the fact that we possibly changed the offensive coordinator, because that was the big problem of just the offense by being shut out and averaging 19 points a game. I think we've actually averaged less points per game than last year with better weapons. As I digress, I'm not getting into all that. This video is mainly about the quarterbacks I would want this offseason. It's gonna be a big QB shuffle. I feel like last year was mainly wide receiver shuffle. Different kind of positions, not mainly the QB. But as I digress, there's multiple ways they could go about this route. With them actually keeping Pete Carmichael and firing a tight end coach who helped build Jawan up and be a tight end one, and actually made Adam Troutman look serviceable when healthy. I looked at Jawan Johnson as the Ben Watson, and I looked at Adam Troutman mainly as the Josh Hill type. Catch a few passes there, was getting good and run blocking, and he was serviceable. Not worth what we traded up to get him for, but was serviceable. And I credit a lot of that work to the tight end coach, Dan Rauscher, who they let go. As I digress, these are quarterbacks I'm looking for that I wouldn't mind them getting, and I don't expect them to get, but this is what I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind looking at them looking towards New England way with Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, both young guys, but I would prefer Bailey Zappi. I think he currently holds the most touchdowns in the season for a college quarterback, more than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow actually had 60. I think he had 62, and he almost threw for 6,000 yards his last year. And it just keeps slipping my damn mind what college he played for, but nonetheless, I like him. Wouldn't mind taking a chance on him. And again, all Mac Jones. Mac Jones damn near threw for 4K his first year, and I think he had 24 touchdowns, 11 picks. And we all know, for anybody who watch football, that having Matt Patricia as your offensive coordinator is not a recipe for success. Knowing that he used to be a DC for New England prior to him going to Detroit and destroying that program. But nonetheless, I think he's better than what he's displaying over in New England right now, so I wouldn't mind taking a chance on him. Then there's got the Jimmy G, Brock Purdy, or Trey Lance thing. All three of those guys will fluctuate. I think if Brock Purdy does good with the 49ers this playoff or win the Super Bowl, or even not, and he just has a good performance, I see the 49ers leaning his way. I don't see Trey Lance even putting up for a QB battle with this guy, knowing it's his third year, and possibly can lose. Who knows? Possibly can lose, and facing another situation where he might not play again. It's a different thing when you're sitting behind a vet like Jimmy G or anybody else, but he's not gonna want to do another year of possibly having to sit behind this guy who's going to be very well acclimated in the system, and the team's going to respond. They're just going to respond better to him, knowing that they've went through the fire with him throughout these playoffs and big win streak. No matter what you say, system. You guys don't know what you're talking about. I just put that out there. Call him a system guy. But again, the team will respond accordingly, and they're going to feel a better connection with a guy who they went through the fire with. So, even then, if they do something stupid enough to say, hey, we'll put him up and keep Trey because they spent the capital on him, I wouldn't mind putting in a bid in for him. Putting in a bid for Trey if they decide to stick with Brock Purdy, or, seeing what Jimmy G is talking about. Derek Carr is now talking about being traded. Look, I don't want the Saints, if they even look at that way, I don't want them to trade for him. Let him get released. I don't see anyone in the league being stupid enough for them to trade unless he, you know, lowers his contract or change that up to make it tradable and them to get assets. I don't see that happening. So I would rather him get released first if they want to go that route. Now I'm starting to see things about Aaron Rodgers saying that it's probably going to be a mutual agreement for those two to part ways. Again, I'm not looking towards the older guys. I really want to go younger. I really don't want the mid-30s shit. I don't really, you know, I want to really draft and just go completely young, or somebody who's like, you know, again, the Jimmy G, maybe Derek Carr, because they're early 30s. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to go with guys who are decorated, have some stripes on the wall, but are older. You know, I really don't want that. I want to try to at least invest in something for the long haul, but I don't think this staff will be here for the long haul. So I see them making moves that'll be for temporary gain just to keep them with a job, and or they'll still fail in the process. But Saints fan, I hope for the best, but I'm being real with myself. So, you know, Aaron Rodgers could be a possibility. Derek Carr could be a possibility, hopefully by free agency and not by trade, because getting paid $40 million a year, something like that, and that just doesn't make sense for the way our team is structured at this point. Also, Tom Brady would be a free agent, but I'm definitely not looking that way. He does not look the same. I need a guy with a little bit of mobility. Aaron Rodgers isn't Pat Mahomes. Derek Carr isn't Lamar Jackson, but it's a little something better than a statue. And the way our offensive line plays, sometimes I'm not with just having a guy who's a statue. I need a guy who's going to roll out, a guy who may take off. And that's not that guy with Tom Brady anymore. You know, then there's the Mike White situation. He did okay over there, but, you know, I feel like they could be better, so he's a possibility. And then I could get, you know, Daniel Jones. If he does good, New York might lock him up, but, you know, that's going to be a decision on him if he wants to stay there. But I love Danny Dimes. Everybody knows I love Danny fucking Dimes. So that's another guy I take, but I have a feeling New York will lock him up. Taylor Heineke most likely to be a free agent. I'm like, I mean, you know, who am I to beg at this point? I mean, bring him in. Baker Mayfield, bring him in. You know what I'm saying? It's better than what we got. I'm done with the Jameis Winston thing. You know, it's not about his talent. You know, get these fucking crazy-ass Jameis Winston's fanatics away from my fan base. You know, I don't want guys preying on downfalls for people on the team for him to look good. Let him go somewhere else. Let him try to thrive and be a starter and just do his thing. I wish the best of luck for him. I wish he stays healthy, which is another big reason why I'm not big on bringing him back. He suffered the ACL injury. He suffered the back and the Achilles tendon and all that stuff. And I just will not want to have my season depending on somebody who will most likely have some type of injury and the people come excuses with it. So let him go and try to be a starter somewhere else. I'm down with bringing Andy Dalton back as the backup. He was serviceable. He showed you he can win you some games, but he's not a needle mover. He won't move the needle, and he definitely won't really kind of lose you the game, but he'll just keep you there probably 175, 225 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, right in the middle. And again, if everything's perfect, that'll be fine, but that's not what you need to be going into this season as a starter. But nonetheless, again, then we can get into the big trades. If we trade Sean Payton and get some picks for it, I don't mind going for the gusto. I don't mind going for Justin Fields or Lamar Jackson. I'm with it. I love those guys. Those guys I would really want if it came down to trading big capital for. That's the two I would love. But again, the way the staff moves, I don't see them doing that. I actually like the way they draft. They did good last year to me, in my opinion. But as I digress with the quarterback position, I don't trust them. As far as, I ain't gonna say I don't trust them with that. It's just that the way the staff and everything is moving right now, I don't trust the front office. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what their game is. So I'm just throwing out names of people who I would really like just to entertain me. So straight up, give me some Bailey Zappi. Give me, do a fucking, Bailey Zappi or Mac Jones. Give me a Brock Purdy or Trey Lance or Jimmy G. Fuck, go for the gusto with Justin Fields or Lamar Jackson, one of them if y'all really serious. But I don't think that's happening. I can see them actually trying to go after Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers. Either or, the quarterback position needs to be addressed. Even if they're not trying to win, even if they're not trying to do the right thing and actually better the staff, please make it entertaining. I have little to no faith in what they're doing by them keeping Pete Carmichael. So I'm not expecting a big change, but who knows? They went all out the door for Deshaun Watson. Who knows? All Facts, No Slack Saints podcast. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy the playoffs this weekend. Peace.